welcome to Caribbean Brilliance. Conversation with your host, Mss Francois. That's MSS for multi-talented and super sexy. Thank you. So, what's Caribbean Brilliance? This is where we highlight and recognize the contribution of Caribbean Americans all over the Caribbean, because we hope that they could shed some light, tell us about their story, that it could definitely be an inspiration to others to follow in their footsteps. And today, I have an entrepreneur. Sorry, guys, he married, okay? Oh, isn't he married? So that's the first thing, because you all hear entrepreneur, you think money, you think single. Now, so we have today Michael Bharath. He's an entrepreneur, and you'll hear all about the amazing thing he's doing. And the best part is it has roti in it. He is from one of the greatest islands on earth, my home country, Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Michael Bharath, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much for having me here. Thank you.
You should be very grateful.
I am very grateful. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate this.
So, Michael, when I was reading through your bio, one of the things it seemed like I thought you were Jamaican because you had like 10 jobs.
I did. I come over here when I was small. You know, you just had to go through the whole immigrant process of building yourself and growing. But I did have a lot of jobs as younger first coming to this country.
And how old were you when you came to this country? I don't know if you're coming on a boat, so I don't want the authorities to come looking for you.
No, I ain't come backtrack. I come on a plane. I ain't come through backtrack. I was good. My mom actually came over here the year before, back in 1997. And I came over here 1 month before my 18th birthday in 1998. I know I'm selling out my age, but, you know.
Yeah, he look kind of old.
Oh, God. Don't come on, girl.
Well, I hope it's only Trinidad watching this episode, because this man accent strong. He say he come here one day before his 18th birthday, but he sound like he come last week on a boat or he swim here. But anyway, so a lot of people, when they come to this country, because you say you come with your parents, your mom and dad, or your mom?
Just my mom. My mom was, she came a year before us.
So how was that? Did you like do high school? Because a lot of people have a hard time transitioning from any foreign country, especially a small country like Trinidad and Tobago, to where New York you lived, or where
Correct.
did you live?
So I had did what you call in the Caribbean CXC, which is equivalent to high school in America. I did graduate what you will consider what you call honors, and I went on to A levels, which is I believe is equivalent to like the first year of college in New York. My mom, when she left the year before, my mom was just like every typical Caribbean family and home. She was the guiding hand, the strict hand, you know, the one that will, you know, really push the kids forward and push the family forward. And when my mom left, which was right after I graduated high school and I went on to A levels, and then my mom started working and sending money back home, I was like on top of the world, because with the exchange rates and
Yeah,
you know,
you're rich. You're money in America.
I rich from I went from $20 a week to having money in my pocket.
Right.
You know, and it was a nice feeling, but the strict hand wasn't there. So playtime stepped in, and I didn't do too great in A levels, but my mom brought me over here. I didn't even know I was gonna stay. When she brought us over here. I tried to actually go back to high school here, thinking, okay, maybe I could, you know, probably get a scholarship, but I realized, hey, you already graduated high school, time to go to college.
Right.
And I realized, like, well, I can afford to go to college, and hence the journey of starting to work started to happen. Now reality started kicking, because I never worked. And actually, I worked at one place in Trinidad, a bookstore, and I remember the first week of working, Saturday, I realized, like, wait, this is weekend, and I have to go to work? Holy
But
crap.
isn't it funny coming from like a Caribbean background? Most Caribbean kids, when you grow up, you don't have to work because you live in home with your parents.
Correct.
It's like, it's that little shock of, I'm in America, yeah, my parents are supposed to take care of me. What do you mean I have to go find a job? So what was your first job?
The first job I had, my mom was a Christian, so we was going to church, and she got me a job moving furniture with some members from church. And I remember, you know, you come over here and you're trying to build yourself. And I remember, I was like, my mom come and asked me, well, you know, you had to start contributing towards rent. I was like, what? What?
You hear that, Americans are like, yeah, we pay rent. These things are not typical in Caribbean households, okay? Your parents are supposed to be your parents until you're like 35, until you find that girl, then you build up a house right next door under the house.
Right, exactly.
But America is totally different. So even going to work or having the American life, did you experience any like discrimination?
Well, so there's a quick backstory. I mean, when
Mm-hmm.
I came to New York and I lived in New York for 2 years, and then after I moved to Connecticut, and in Connecticut I moved into a neighborhood and an environment that was predominantly white,
Mm.
and the only time it was, they didn't even know where Trinidad was.
Right.
They didn't even know Trinidad. What is that? Where is that? Where that located? Because the first thing they will see a person of my physical features, and the first thing will ask you, "Are you from India?"
Right.
And I say, "No, I don't own a 7-Eleven, and I don't own a casino." You know, so it's not the wrong Indian. I'm West Indian.
Right.
And but the only time I could say I experienced a little bit of a discrimination is around when 9/11 happened. I was over here for when 9/11 happened. I know everybody thoughts and emotions were all over the place, but discrimination as far as race-wise, that was the only time I could say I experienced it. But
Yeah.
discrimination in the workplace as far as, hey, listen, do we want this guy up front? Because I eventually moved on to the restaurant industry, and I remember one time I was a prep cook, and I asked the owner of the restaurant, hey, can I be up front? I'd love to, be up front, be a waiter, do whatever is up front. And at that moment in time in life, he had told me, he's like, no, I don't think it's the best look because it was a predominantly white town we were in. And being a little bit ignorant back then, he was like, oh, this guy being racist towards me. And, I realized it was a business decision he made later on in my life.
Got
I realized
you.
it was a business decision he made because imagine putting somebody who they don't even know where Trinidad from, this
Right.
brown little boy in front of the restaurant. He might have lost business. You never know what. But we live in a society, where people are a lot more open-minded and a lot
Right.
more accepting.
True. Okay. Thanks for that whole long
Sorry,
rambling
sorry,
question.
sorry. Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with these people always coming to try to take over my show or
Oh
something.
God, oh God.
But with that said, right? Okay, so you had all these different jobs. What was so exciting about the restaurant business that you're like, let me try something?
Well, I don't know if you realize that I love to talk.
No,
So
I didn't.
I know if you figured out all those yet. But I had my opportunity to work for an Italian restaurant while I was in Connecticut, and I realized I love talking to people. I love networking. I love engaging with people. I love hearing people's stories, and I always believe your story, be it whoever's story telling their story, can help impact somebody else's life. Be it in a positive way or a negative way, it can impact somebody's life. And it something about just serving food and serving wine and drink or something like that, and bringing that immediate happiness and gratification. Because the food industry is one industry that you get immediate feedback. Hey, your food suck, or your drinks suck.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I
I
don't
never
like that.
thought of it
Yeah,
like that.
immediate feedback. They just give you immediate feedback. So I always enjoy that, and I eventually branched on, and I've been doing the restaurant business for about 24 years now.
24 years. So tell everyone what's the name of your restaurant.
So God has blessed me for the last 5 years that I was able to open up a restaurant called D, as in D Roti Hut. The letter D, because that's how we speak in the Caribbean. I'm going down D Road.
That's what
you
I wanted
know?
to know. I'm like,
Yeah.
how hard did you have to think to come up with
Well,
that name, boss?
the original name was supposed to be Roti Hut, and when I went to register the name,
Yeah.
this is like the Roti Hut already taken. So I was
Really?
like, what can I come up with quickly? And I said D, So I'm going down the road, D, That's why I was trading the Roti Hut. I'm going by the Roti Hut.
It's so funny how these things do come about, and people's like, wow, that's a good name. And you're like, it was already taken, so I just had to throw a D in front of it. No, that's amazing. So my thing was, the main reason you opened the Roti Hut is because of your culture, you being from Trinidad, or what? Because you went through these different restaurants, and you said you worked for Italian restaurants, so how come you didn't go that route?
I never wanted to open up a roti shop. Roti shop work is very, very, very hard work. People, believe it or not, it was a huge learning curve for me. I worked for the Italian restaurant as a waiter, and then after I wanted to further my studies. When you're young, you're still trying to figure yourself out.
Right.
What you want to do and all that stuff though. And I did a little bit of trying to build computers. The A plus program back then, as it was called, and I realized that wasn't for me. But something about the food industry and hospitality business is something I always wanted to do. So I worked for the Italian restaurant. I was a general manager for Red Lobster, general manager for TGIF Fridays. I worked in the city. I worked multiple restaurants,
Right.
and TGIF Fridays was the last corporate restaurant I ever worked for. And around that time, I was like, maybe it's time to start doing something for yourself. People who are committed in the restaurant business, like how I am for this long, the dream is always to have your own.
Right.
And it actually my little brother who convinced me to open up a roti shop, because where I live in New York in the Richmond Hill neighborhood is very saturated with roti shops there.
Right.
And I was like, no, I can't open up a roti shop here. He
Right.
said, how about my neighborhood in Queens Village? I was
Really?
like, there's no Trinidadian roti shops around here. I was like, okay, maybe this might be an opportunity. And I started scouting the neighborhood, and God bless me for the location that I have right now. It is a very good location, but I attribute it towards my little brother. I never wanted to do a roti shop. I had a different concept in my head, a different type of restaurant I wanted to do, but that's how the roti shop idea came about.
And what is the hardest thing about running this store?
The hardest challenge I would say though in most businesses is having the right team. The team. And you have to be a big believer in people, a big risk taker with people. And then also I opened up my restaurant, as I mentioned, about 5 years now. So I opened up right before the pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 weeks before the pandemic. Yeah,
That's a
but
lot.
it's you have to look at things sometimes in life as a blessing, because if I was a viral sensation from the beginning, I probably might not be able to handle the success immediately. But the pandemic allowed me to learn my neighborhood, my demographic, my community. It allowed me to hone in onto the recipes that I need fixing. And it was a blessing in disguise for me. As I say, it was a slow learning curve, but it was a blessing in disguise, the pandemic for me. And now, God has blessed me to the point where, yes, you always want your restaurant and your business to be busier, but I'm at a point where I'm always on the incline. Not the decline, but the incline.
So with that, right, being a restaurant owner and it's food, is it something you have to be hands-on? Are you there every day, or are you detached from it, or how does that typically run?
So, being a restaurant owner, the first couple of years, I was there every single day, and I'm still there pretty much every single day. And yes, hands-on, absolutely right. You have to be hands-on, because that's how your team shows respect. You don't want to be the guy that's coming in there and it's like, okay, well, do this.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes you need a chief, and not all Indians. But the thing about it,
Okay.
the thing about it is like, yes, you need to be hands-on. You need to. I still go do my own deliveries. I still go to different locations, pick up my own groceries and that kind of stuff. Though I love interacting with my customers on a daily basis. But to answer your question, yes, you have to be hands-on. And it's something new. Yeah, a business is a living, breathing thing. You can't just put it on autopilot and leave it. You can't just leave it up to the team. I love my team. I really, truly, from the depths of my heart, I love my team. But they will never be as passionate as I am, because this is not theirs.
Right. Good answer. Plus, they have to keep making the food. So you see how you have to make sure you said his love, his team, right? But with that said, right now we're just going to take a short break, and we'll come back with the entrepreneur Michael Bharath, and we're going to find out some more information. Plus, stay tuned, because I have some rapid fire Trini questions.
Imagine traveling the world and earning cash when you book flights, hotels, or excursions. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, Way Away Plus can make that dream come true. It's a membership plan with unbeatable cashback rewards for travelers. And guess what? As a travel blogger, YouTuber, or social media influencer, you can make a lot of money by promoting the plan to your audience. So, what do you need to start cashing in with Way Away Plus? You're about to find out. But first, let's take a closer look at the service. Way Away Plus is a unique cashback plan that emerged from Travel Payouts, a digital partnership platform that brings together content creators and travel brands. Way Away Plus members get up to 10% cashback on tons of travel services from top travel brands, including flights, car rentals, hotels, and more. Let's run through an example so everything is crystal clear. Say a member books a hotel and a round-trip flight for a weekend through Way Away Plus. They pay $700 for the hotel and $460 for the flight, and after enjoying their trip, get $70 and $23 of cashback straight to their PayPal account. That means the membership plan can literally pay for itself even on the first trip. Cool, right? And not only that, To make the entire travel experience seamless, WayAway Plus offers 24/7 support to answer all of our users' travel-related questions whenever they need it. What's more, WayAway Plus offers a fantastic collection of guides to cities across the US and the world. Users can get all sorts of ungoogleable travel advice from locals from around the world and discover hidden gems in any destination. Partnering with WayAway Plus is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
19.7% of Bronxites currently experience food insecurity. Meanwhile, instead of these nice, colorful foods, this is the best food that they have access to. If this sounds like you, there are a bunch of resources to get healthy food for free or cheap. If you want to help, you might consider donating or volunteering in one of these places. Community fridges like this one are all over the city, and allow New Yorkers to conveniently donate extra food to people who might need it. Go to this link and find your nearest one. Food banks and pop-up events like these provide millions of healthy meals to families in need. These organizations are distributing meals to Bronxites as we speak, and are always accepting donations and volunteers.
Welcome back to Caribbean Brilliance. I'm your host, Mss Francois. I'm here with a Trinidadian by the name of Michael Bharath, an entrepreneur, and boy, he's the owner of D Roti Hut. And let me tell you something, what I love there the most is the doubles and the pulori. Oh God, and they make some mango chow to die for. Okay, sorry. Hi, Michael.
Hi.
Like we were discussing before, like you were saying, you were hands-on a lot, you know, having to make sure your team respect you and stuff like that. With that, you said you were in the store a lot. Like, how does that factor into family? Like you mentioned, brother, you're married. Like, how does that take away from like the family aspect, and how do you even manage that?
So, the good thing about being an entrepreneur, the good thing about owning your own business or service or whatever you're providing is that, yes, you're a slave to it, but you also be able to manage your time a little bit. Where throughout my career, when I was working for these multiple different corporate restaurants, I missed out on a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Birthdays, families, weddings, this, that, that.
Right.
And it's all about planning and organization, and believing in your team and trusting somebody and training somebody to have there when you're not there. And it's about having that little extra step of having belief, because you know you cannot be there 24 hours a day. So it is a little bit challenging at times, but the point of opening up this was to get back my time. And now I'm a big believer at this point in time of my life, quality of life, spending time with close friends and family.
Awesome. That sounds like an infomercial, boy, like he's selling something. But and since you're a businessman, an entrepreneur, you're getting your time back. Do you have like ideas for new businesses? Because to me, when you start one, people start to be serial entrepreneurs. Like any ideas or things you're interested in to branching out from? Maybe another D Roti Hut? Any plans and stuff like that?
Well, as I told you, I never wanted to open up a roti shop, and it's very, very, very hard work. You know, we up at, the girls start working at, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. But as far as opening up another roti shop, I think this one roti shop, God bless me, I want to perfect the skills and perfect the systems that this roti shop has. But I don't think I ever want to do another roti shop. I would love to do another restaurant, which I'm in the process of working on the details of the concept. But I want to fix this one to the point where I want to fix the Roti Hut, whereas it could run without I have to be there every single day. And then, yes, I would love to open up another shop, but it's a different concept that I'm bringing to New York. And I know it's going to be an immediate hit because it's something that New York needs.
Is it still going to be in like the Caribbean realm or a mixture?
It's going to have a fusion of an American and Caribbean. You have to bring the Caribbean to it because everybody loves the Caribbean.
Plus, you can have that kind of thick accent, and nothing Caribbean. You're talking about pasta, but but even with that said, so someone looking at you be like, wow, because you look young. I know how old you are, but you have the whole young thing. You look like you put the grays in yourself, to be honest, right?
I don't make myself look mature.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, people looking at you, especially the reason for this show is someone could be looking in Trinidad or any Caribbean island, and a lot of people have never even taken a plane before. first, so to hear your story coming from here, you wasn't sure you was going to stay, to go into having to think about college, all these jobs, and then you have a restaurant. What is some advice you would say to even your younger self, or even a Caribbean person in a teenager watching from Trinidad, that if they wanted to do something like what you're doing, what would be the best advice for them?
So if I had to talk to somebody, if I had to talk to my younger self or anybody, it could be either a younger person or somebody who's looking to start, don't think it's it's never too late. Write down your ideas. Try to network as much as you possibly can, and try to get with somebody who did this before, because I had help along the way throughout my entire life. I am not sitting here talking to you today because I can come and say, well, puff my chest up in the air and say, well, I did this on my own. No, I did not. I had help along the way. And try to have a clear, decisive goal or idea what you want to do. Network, save. You have to save. You need money. All right, you need to save. But there's a lot of opportunities out there where you can network. Like, you know, where we live, we're blessed to live in New York, where there's a lot of opportunities there to help, be it financially or different workshops you could attend to. Do as much research as you possibly can, you know. And the big believer, I'm a big believer in God. Have a grounded faith. Have some type of grounded faith. Pray. And even if you don't believe anything, still just talk out to the wind if you want to. Sometimes is, you know, I've learned throughout life, sometimes it's good just to talk things out. You don't tell everybody your idea, because everybody and their mother always have some input.
Right.
Right? But listen to the negative and listen to the positive, and you weigh your options. But at the end of the day, be clear and be focused, but be disciplined. You need discipline.
Okay, so I heard goal, network, discipline. What did I miss? Save money. So I hope you all are writing all these things down, because all these are important, because I think all these things flow in some sort of form and they're all helpful. Like, do you have any mentor or somebody you look up to and said, okay, that person, I could take some advice from that person, or that's who I want to strive to be more like? Anybody in particular comes to mind?
When I used to work Red Lobster, I had a particular director. He helped mentor me a lot during that process, and I learned a lot from him. I mean, unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago. But as of right now, I do a fair amount of watching videos. Those leadership videos helps a lot.
Anybody in particular? Because I love those. I live on
well,
those.
I read this book. This book helped you a lot in the beginning. John C. Maxwell is an easy read, very small book. But those simple little books just help you and it change your mind frame. And as I mentioned earlier about networking, you can't be among the same amount of friends and expecting to generate new ideas. You need to find new friends. You know, it doesn't necessarily be a friend, new acquaintances. You know, but I would say though, mentoring wise, it's great to have a mentor, but this day and age, it have a million things over the internet you could find.
Right, that's true. So add that to the list. Mindset. Okay, I like that one also. So at this point in time, we have some, I named it, quick fire Trini questions. Okay, just gonna be fun. Just answer the first thing comes to your mind. You wouldn't be, I wouldn't embarrass you if you don't know some of these Trinidad terms.
I'm gonna try my best.
So, because it's 5 of them. The first one, Maracas Beach or Tobago weekend or a river lime?
A Tobago weekend.
We're like about Tobago, so.
Nah, that's Tobago quieter and calmer. When you get a little bit more mature, I don't want to say older, you know, all the bacchanal and that kind of stuff though. You like peace and quiet.
Okay, second question. We in the forest. I don't know what we're doing in the forest, but we're in the forest. You see a mapapi in front of you. Are you running, chopping, or petting it?
Nah, I go chop that snake. I chop on that snake. Me run for snake. Me frightened snake. Yeah. I frightened frog. I ain't frightened snake. Believe it or not, I'm afraid. I don't like frogs.
So you get to know this person. He gangster. He ain't running. He chopping from the side. Number 3. If you had to choose the last Trini meal you will ever eat again, which one would it be? Doubles, roti, pilau, like you write down all the foods you could find. Breadfruit, oil dung, macaroni pie. Boy, I can't remember all of this. Chicken, red bean, and potato salad. That sounds like a Sunday lunch. Bacon shack or the classic dal and rice?
No, wait, that's a tough question, boy, because we Trinidadians, boy, I know it might sound boastful and biased, but we just cook everything good. Real good. You know, from we Creole food to Indian food to African food, everything we just cook real good. To be honest, I ain't gonna eat no roti because I'm gonna be a little too heavy. But, you know,
You want to go out light?
I want to go out light, but you know, like, boy, probably some dal rice and tomato choker with some bunje dong chicken, girl.
All right, somebody trying to make me hungry. Or?
No way.
And I see, you see how he naming thing? That night I just had dal and rice. He had the extra stuff.
But you had to eat that rice with your hand.
Yeah,
You can't do it no fork.
You telling me?
If you can get it on a leaf, that'll be even better.
Oh God!
Yeah.
It's looking like a true old-fashioned Trini. So finish this saying. Better belly bust than.
Good food waste.
Oh, okay, calm down. Come with the accent. Calm down.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
And the last one. Finish this saying. New broom does sweep clean, but old broom.
Shimrock, yeah, you're gonna embarrass me with this.
That's
one, boy.
okay.
Yeah. I know old broomers catch every corner or something like that.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And so the old broom know all the corners.
Know all the corners.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
You get your
All
Trini
right,
flag.
Good. I gotta keep my pass. Yeah.
So at this time, I just wanted to take this moment because the main part of the show is it's to highlight certain people that have done amazing things, because sometimes you don't know people's story and you see them in the glitz and the glamour, and I like to say you see their glory but you don't know their story. So at this time, on behalf of Caribbean Brilliance, we wanted to present you with this cup, and I'm going to read the back of it. It says, in recognition of amplifying Caribbean brilliance, we thank you for your contributions. Okay, you see it there?
I appreciate that very much. Thank
You can touch it, you can touch it.
I see the couple of buttons. That's also me. This is nice skill. Thank you very much.
I know, but I'll put it back down here. That's the camera. You're going to take it when you're going.
Yeah, all right. Cool.
But I really definitely enjoy this time with you, and it's so much. So any advice? Well, first tell people where they can find you. Tell people where the Roti Hut is, or any last words for any person that might be watching and want to do what you're doing, or just advice overall.
So, as you mentioned earlier, the name of the business is D Roti Hut. We're located in Jamaica, Queens, on 208 Street, right by the corner. It's opposite the Pep Boys. You can't miss it. It's literally a corner spot. And we're famous for our corn soup. We have, I would say, probably the best roti in Queens. All right, everybody. I know the internet gonna say, "Oh God, boy, you know, or they go to this place and go to that place." Me want to call other names, but I tell you, I do have the best dal prayer bus up shot in Queens. And as far as advice for anybody, my door is always open. So if you ever stop by in New York, feel free to get hold of me. I have no problem saying I'm having a conversation. I am not the best, but I can advise.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, I know. It's anything sitting with me makes everything much more better. At this time, I just want to say, don't forget to tune in to Caribbean Brilliance. Always make sure you're there for someone you never know. One sentence, one word, one advice could change someone's entire life. So with that, Mss Francois say, till we lime again, check out the next episode of Caribbean Brilliance.